Vanessa is an outdoor enthusiast who built her channel around forest adventures, camping, bushcraft, and hands-on outdoor projects. She developed a solid following over time, partly through her personality, partly because her content is genuinely useful to people who spend time outside. But in this particular video, what she found waiting for her was something she wasn't prepared for. It shook her, and by her own account, left her scared for her life. A lot of Vanessa's work involves multi-day projects built across different forest locations, shelters and setups that take time to complete, meaning she regularly leaves a site and comes back to continue. In this video, she was returning to one of those ongoing projects to pick up where she left off. What she found when she got there was that everything had been destroyed, and whoever did it had left things behind.
Bleib hier. Komm. Ich weiß echt nicht, was ich sagen soll. So there is a notification with my name on it. Mrs. Blank, learned nothing, short trousers, and then something I can't read. I'm not sure what's really stand there. I wanna piss at you or I wanna visit you. It's such a ugly writing, I'm not sure if I read everything. So you was not there, what a pity. Your camp is not damaged and it's your fault, we see us. So it was something that know me, that know my camp. Nein, geh nicht ein, nein. And just want to destroy it because it's mine. What? Here is shit. I had to cover it that I doesn't step inside. And the only thing which is not so much damaged is the roof. So it's not so long ago when I covered it with moss. I spent a whole day for it, only for the cover, because I have to collect the moss. But everything else is just broken, destroyed.
It wasn't random. That much was clear immediately. Whoever came to that site knew it was hers. They knew where to find it, and they came with the intention of sending a message. What that message was meant to communicate is harder to say, but the deliberateness of it was unmistakable. The realization that someone had been tracking her movements, or at minimum knew exactly where she worked, was deeply unsettling on its own. Then she found the letter. After reading it and trying to process what it meant, she decided to take it with her as evidence. That's when she noticed something else, something that stopped her completely.
Den Zettel nehme ich mit. I bring this notification at home. Also jetzt hat der Spaß ein Loch. So there is a photo from me. It's the same backpack that I carry today, and it's very damaged. So I'm not sure if it's a wildlife track photo or not, because there is the date on it. But when it's not a wildlife camera photo, that means that this person was in my closer area and take a photo from me, walk behind me, wants to check where I am, what I do, or I have no idea how they could otherwise find out at which day I am in the forest, because I have no special day. And that means that I have this shit again. I had it all in the past. I had a stalker that write me letters at my private address, which is something that nobody knows, which knows who I am, which knows the places where I was bushcrafting, and take photos of them and send it to me. Look, I found your new camp, and I had this all in the past.
She had a stalker, and by her own account, it wasn't the first time. The same person may have been at it before, which makes the whole thing considerably more alarming. This individual had been following her at a distance and had been taking photographs of her without her knowledge. What makes that detail particularly disturbing is the context. Vanessa frequently filmed herself swimming or walking alone in the woods, operating under the reasonable assumption that she was by herself. None of that footage was explicit. Nothing like that ever appeared on her channel. But the stalker would have known what he could see from a distance, out of frame, without her ever realizing it. And at the exact moment she stood there filming, there was a real possibility that person was somewhere nearby, in the tree line, watching. Whoever this individual is, the behavior goes well beyond curiosity. The pattern, the destruction, the letter, the photographs, the repeated incidents points to someone with intent. Where that intent lead is the part that's hardest to sit with. Vanessa does carry protection, which she showed on camera toward the end of the video. That detail matters, and for anyone who spends time alone in remote places and assumes they've never been followed, it's worth considering that you might not have known if you were. This next encounter comes from the YouTube channel Adventuring with Amanda. On January 21st, 2026, at the American Girl Mine BLM site near the California-Arizona border outside Yuma, Amanda and her fellow campers were settling into their remote desert campsite at around 7:30 in the morning when they heard someone shouting, "See for yourself."
Of everyone trying to me, with no exception, no matter what I do to camp. I don't have a life. I cannot love. I have no purpose. Me. I cannot love.
Did you make the call, Dan?
Huh?
Did you make a call?
No.
Oh, I thought he said you were calling.
Huh?
Here.
I need that. Somebody
I've got him. I can't call because I got him on here. Can you call the authorities?
right now, shoot me. Okay. You said Adler. Me. Help! 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 Me! Help me!
This wasn't the first time the man had shown up. He had already approached their camp earlier in the week, and his return, combined with his erratic behavior, put the group on edge. They called the police.
So we got the police here because we had some drama.
Oh, yeah.
I don't want to record while he's here because I'm respectful.
It's actually kind of scary because the cops warned all of us and told all of us that we should all be carrying firearms, which it's just it's kind of weird to hear a police officer like tell you that straight up. But I already carry. I am trained and experienced in the use of a firearm, especially as a solo female traveler. Unfortunately, we always have to watch our backs, and we live in a really scary, aggressive, mean, violent society.
What this situation comes down to is preparation and the ability to act as a group under pressure. The campers held the situation together before law enforcement arrived, and that mattered. Had they not, it could have gone a different direction entirely. Fortunately, it didn't, and the rest of the trip passed without further incident. For our next case, we're looking at Austin Armstrong, a YouTube creator who built his channel around putting himself in unfamiliar places and uncomfortable situations. His videos follow him stepping deliberately outside what feels safe, exploring new environments, and taking on experiences most people would rather watch than attempt. But on one particular camping trip, he ran into something he hadn't prepared for, a fear he never saw coming.
And today, I just decided to go camping. Now, as you can kind of sort of maybe see, it's kind of raining, but
That's okay. I just went out in the middle of nowhere at this campground at Poka Lake in Indiana. I'm the only one out here. Obviously, it's kind of cold and it's projected to get colder and it's raining. But I like a challenge whenever I camp, and I've camped in much worse weather conditions than this. So I figured, yeah, why not? So here's my little site right there. So I'm gonna make the most of what I have here and see what I can do with it.
Decided to take a solo camping trip out to Poka Lake, Indiana. The weather was cold and wet going in, but he wasn't deterred. If anything, the rough conditions were part of the point.
Even with the rain, here's my tent. I need to figure out how to set a fire in the wetness of what I have here. I moved this table. I'm probably gonna move it over there closer to the tent. So the tent over here is under let me just move. Under some trees. That'll protect it for the rain and stuff. I'm thinking maybe I can move the fire pit over here as well. That's underneath some of these trees. Maybe that'll make it a little bit easier. But as you can see, like, there's nobody here, which is good. That's what I was looking for. Just kind of getting away from everything. Well, I guess I can do a demonstration of how to start a fire when everything is wet, because I'm having some problems here. And
When he arrived, the campground was completely empty. At first, that felt like a good thing. Quiet, peaceful, all to himself. He pitched his tent under a tree to get some cover from the rain, and then spent well over an hour fighting to get a fire going.
I think I did it. So I took some branches and stuff. And so if you don't know, here's a little like tip, okay? So whenever you're camping and you're trying to make a fire, make a teepee. You see how it's like in a triangle shape? See how that? I mean, there's a reason in all the kids' TV shows that like it's a teepee, you know, like the campfire is shaped like, you know, like a pyramid or something. That's how you want to do it.
He got there eventually, a small but steady fire. As the darkness came in fully, he realized the fire wouldn't last the night without more wood, and that meant heading back out to find some.
It's been about 2 hours now since it stopped raining. I still need to find more wood, so I have my headlamp. I just need to find some bits and pieces just to keep it going. We're going pretty strong, but it's getting pretty thin, if you can tell, like down in the bottom of it. You can't really see anything out here, so yeah, I have this flashlight. It's got a good beam on it. So I found a stack of firewood out this way. Okay, you can kind of see that light right there. So that's an outhouse. So if I follow this light, where my light's going here, there's a former campfire that was over here, and somebody left a decent stack of firewood.
He grabbed a flashlight and walked out into the pitch black. At a nearby empty campsite, he found a stack of wood someone had left behind. He was about to grab it when a loud boom tore through the silence and rolled through the trees.
So it was mostly wet. What the? I don't know if you guys just heard that, but like something literally just went boom over there. Holy crap.
The fear hit him instantly. He swept the darkness with his flashlight in every direction. Nothing there.
I'm trying to find a rational explanation too. Like, maybe it was the wood. But it doesn't look any different than when I left. And I don't think that this would make that kind of sound. What was that? I hope that showed up like on the camera. Let's see that. Okay, this is better. Come on, surely there's not something out here right now. I would be upset. I would be so upset if there's something out here right now. But that was a very large boom and snap. It sounded like there was something like climbing through something. So it could have been an animal. But I'm praying to God that it was something collapsing in the fire. But it was very, very loud.
He tried to work through it, told himself it was probably a log shifting and collapsing in the fire, but he knew that didn't hold up. Whatever that sound was, it was too loud and too sharp for something that simple.
So, update. I found out what that crash was earlier. What it was, so I put the sign had fallen down in the middle of the road that said like, safe area, no dogs, no weapons. And so I set it up against one of the tables, like one of the camping tables. So I set it up against that because it was in the middle of the road. And I look over whenever I went out to go to the bathroom or something, and it was laying on the ground. So I was like, wait a minute, that makes sense. It was just a sign the entire time.
For a while, he managed to settle on an explanation. A large sign he had propped up earlier had toppled over. That answer brought some relief, but it didn't last. As the rain picked back up and the night stretched on, the unease came creeping back in regardless.
Alright, so here's the update. It's almost 1 a.m. and I bagged out of the tent because it's pouring and I got paranoid as hell. I'm not gonna lie. It's freaky out here by yourself. I'm not gonna lie, it's true. But that's okay. I'm warming up this the vehicle here, kind of charging my phone just in case I need to contact anything. I just figured I would be safer and warmer and better off in this van than in a tent. I don't know, it seems like common sense to me. But I'm still out here, still going strong. I'm trying my hardest to keep going.
By 1 a.m., he was done. His own words, paranoid as hell. He left the tent where it was, walked to his van, and locked himself inside. He made it through the rest of the night without incident, but the question that came out of it hasn't gone away. Was that boom really just a sign falling over, or was that simply the explanation his mind latched onto because it needed one? Whatever actually made that sound out there in the dark, the fact that he never got a real answer is the part that stays with you. When you are genuinely alone out there, you are also genuinely exposed. And sometimes the most unsettling thing isn't what you find. It's something you can't explain. This one comes from a channel called Wild Pursuit, primarily a hunting channel. Though this particular video takes a different turn. Worth noting up front, no animals were harmed in any of what you're about to hear. It was the opening morning of archery season, and there was no chance he was sleeping in. He was up early, in the car, and heading for the forest. On the way there, he came across something that stopped him, something he took as a sign.
I got off work this morning at 2:30 or 2 o'clock. Got home, showered and everything, in bed by 3:30, and I was just gonna stay awake, but I fell asleep. Oh, and there's a deer two deer crossing the road right now. If that's not a sign, I don't know what is. Oh, there goes another doe. And there's another one over there. Yeah, so it is 7:05, and I'm just now on my way out.
It turned out to be a sign, all right. Just not the kind that puts a smile on your face. He pushed on, reached the forest, and parked up. After working his way through the undergrowth on foot, he arrived at a location he knew well, a spot with consistent deer activity. He climbed up, settled into position with his bow, and went still. Then he waited.
Okay, so I'm up in the stand. I shot a buck 2 years ago, right there. And I forgot my my bow hanger, so I'm just gonna be holding it, but
Eventually, a deer stepped into view and began moving closer, and he made the decision to draw. Then, just as quickly, he pulled back and let the moment pass. He chose not to take the shot. After a 5-minute standoff with the deer, he drew again. That's the point where everything unraveled, and what happened next crossed from a hunting story into something genuinely life-threatening. See for yourself.
Okay, yeah, you probably should have. Just wait till I come back. You don't want to make anything worse.
Oh, fuck. Yeah, I was, oh, God. There was a really big doe in front of me. And I drew on her. And then she saw me. So we're in a stare down. And, she started, I let my bow down because she was staring at me. And then she started walking away real slow. So I drew again. But as I drew back, my elbow hit the tree and knocked me off balance. And I tried grabbing onto a branch that was up in the tree right next to me, and it snapped as I grabbed onto it.
He was wearing a harness. Somehow, it failed. The fall that followed looked brutal, and looking at where he landed, the outcome could have been far worse. One sharp branch in the wrong place, and this would be a very different story. He was taken to hospital and treated for his injuries, bruising and torn ligaments in his leg. Given the way that fall looked, walking away with that is about as good as it could have gone. He's back posting videos now and moving forward. He's closing in on 1,000 subscribers. A little support from this community would go a long way right now. Beyond that, this incident is worth sitting with. You can repeat the same routine 1,000 times and still get caught off guard. Proper gear, proper habits, no shortcuts. That's not overcaution. That's just the baseline. Safety first, every time. In October 2023, a solo survival trip from the YouTube channel Outdoor Boys begins deep in the rainforest of Southeast Alaska. The channel is known for camping, survival skills, and extended stays in extreme wilderness. On this trip, Luke hikes alone into the rainforest, surrounded by wet ground, dense trees, and constant moisture in the air. The plane scheduled to drop him off arrives late, and the delay makes the isolation noticeable from the start. In a forest that rarely dries, being alone feels less like exploration and more like uncertainty.
Look at this place, it's a cold jungle. Everything is covered in moss. Well, this is the lake I was trying to find. Unfortunately, I'm on the wrong end of the lake. Hold on. There's a little something over there. Check it out, it's an old trolley. All the wood's rotted away, but you can still see the metal frame. You can see the trolley pretty good here. I think normally the water level's a little bit lower and you can walk out to that thing. Look at this. You know what? Rain or no rain, this is still pretty cool. Look at this. Oh. There we go, we got ourselves a nice little shelter. Well, this is a pretty slick little shelter. It was built in 1937, so it's almost 90 years old. Oh, that's delicious. It's not fancy, but it's warm and it's quick.
While moving along the shoreline, he comes across an old rusted trolley sitting quietly beside the lake. The metal frame is broken and corroded, clearly abandoned long ago. It feels strangely out of place, almost like a reminder that people have been here before, and that not every story in this landscape ends neatly. The first day passes without incident. Luke finds shelter, prepares food, and settles in for the night. Everything functions as planned, and the forest still feels manageable. But the second day begins to shift the tone.
Rumor has it there's brook trout in this lake, and I haven't caught a brook trout in a long time. Fishing isn't going great, the rain's picking up, and I am soaked to the bone. I think I might head back. I think I need to do something to warm myself up, and I got an idea. I'm starting to regret my idea. Okay, half of me is being boiled alive, half of me is freezing to death, and there's just a little bit of sweet spot. Oh, I think I've got the temperature dialed in pretty good. That hot water pipe is just a touch too hot, so I got a little bit of that warm waterfall coming in, mixing with it. Between the hiking and the canoeing, I'm a little bit sore. I'm starting to get hungry, so I am going to make a tinfoil dinner. Little salt, pepper, a little pork jowl bacon on there, green onion, and a whole bunch of cilantro. There we go. Even with the dry kindling, that fire isn't taking aggressively. There's so much humidity in the air. I put these wet pieces of wood up here so they can dry, but they'll also act as a roof if it starts to rain, which will protect the fire. That smells good. I gotta tell you what, I'm feeling very fortunate right now. Got a nice warm fire. The rain has been really light. I got a full belly. I think there's a really good chance I'm gonna go to bed dry and warm. Really, the only thing I can complain about right now is that I've got 2 visitors. No, get out of my tent. There's mice all over. Oh, mice can cause a lot of damage. Anything fuzzy, they want to steal it and take it to their nest. So they'll chew holes in your sleeping bag, they'll pull your hair out, they'll chew up your jackets.
He decides to go fishing for salmon. The weather changes quickly. Rain intensifies, soaking his clothes and gear. Cold and wet, he turns back, focusing on maintaining his body temperature. To warm up, he returns to a hot spring he discovered earlier. The heat provides relief, but staying too long risks burns, and stepping out means facing the cold again. Comfort and danger exist side by side. Later, he struggles to start a fire in the heavy humidity. Inside the tent, mice begin disturbing his shelter, making it difficult to rest. The following day, Luke packs up and heads to the beach to wait for the plane.
Well, I got a bit of bad news. I just got a message from the pilot that they're weathered in at Ketchikan and they can't come get me. I don't know how bad the weather is. I don't know how long it's gonna last. All I know is the pilot said he'd give me an update in 2 hours. I need to get out of this rain. I'm getting soaked. I'm wet from the waist down and a little bit cold, but at least I'm not in the rain anymore. Well, the rain eased up and I got a message from the pilot. They're still socked in Ketchikan, so I'm not getting rescued anytime soon. Maybe in a couple hours something will change, or maybe I'll be stuck here for a day or 2. I'm freezing. I'm just gonna walk up and down this beach till I'm warm.
The rain continues. Then a message arrives. The plane cannot come because of the weather. Waiting stretches into hours, turning what was planned as a remote camping trip into a situation where he is truly stranded. After 5 hours sitting in cold rain, the plane finally arrives. Luke returns home safely, leaving the forest behind, but not easily forgetting the experience. Viewers later noted that the most unsettling part of the trip wasn't wildlife, but the uncertainty itself. Delays, weather, and isolation gradually changed the situation. When rescue depends entirely on conditions beyond your control, how quickly does preparation stop being enough? If you enjoyed the video, don't forget to like, subscribe, and check out the other stories on screen for more disturbing encounters caught on camera. Stay safe out there, and remember, the next time you step off the trail, you might not be as alone as you think.